It's electric focus, and here it is. This is the Volvo EX40 Recharge Twin Ultra. And on today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I bought this car, some of the specs, and also my first impressions. So let's get into the video. Right, so this is it, the Volvo EX40 Recharge Twin Ultra. Let's talk a bit about why I decided to buy this car first. First of all, after the expense of my last car, where I compromised on a few of the gadgets because it was adding up too much. It was too expensive. The Jaguar I-Pace, when you go for the top of the range and all the extras, you're talking over £80,000. I wanted something that I didn't have to compromise on much on. The other thing was practicality. So I've got two dogs, as you know if you've been watching my videos, and I just wanted something that worked for them, but also worked for us. You know, having space and comfort as you do in an SUV is why they're so popular. You know, they're just so versatile. I also though didn't want to compromise on the speed factor because I'm a bit of a fan of speed. And after coming from the Jaguar I-Pace, which is just one of the most exciting cars to drive, I knew it might not be quite the same. However, with this XC40 Ultra Twin, the 0 to 60 time is still incredibly 4.8 seconds, or 0 to 62. 4.8 seconds, it's 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds. So it's still very close to the Jaguar actually. Doesn't actually feel as fast as the Jaguar because it's a much snappier kind of powerful feel when you put your foot down in a Jag. But this is still a very quick car. Probably the sensible choice is to go for the model down that doesn't have such torque, but I still love it. Also, really important was comfort. I often compromise on comfort because I just like sporty cars, and the I-Pace was pretty comfortable, as I've said on all my videos. Apart from I found on longer journeys, just after a while my back was a bit sore. Now I didn't have the top of the range seats with all the adjustable bits on, like lumbar support and stuff that this has got, but I still think they weren't as comfortable as I've experienced in Volvo seats in the past. I wanted a car that, even though it's perhaps a bit conventional looking, like the Volvo is, that it's moved on a bit since it's been launched. Bear in mind, this car was launched as a petrol car right back in 2017, and the electric version came out in 2020. So 2024 now, so it's been out 4 years. It hasn't really fundamentally changed much in design, but what they have done, Volvo, is they've moved the car on since it was first launched. They've improved the battery. So you've got a slightly bigger battery, which gives you longer range, but they've also improved the charging speed. So you can now get, in this model now, 205 kilowatts maximum charging speed. And that's a 10 to 80% charge in under 30 minutes. For your information, let's just go through the types you can get. So you've got the Core, the Plus and the Ultra. So you've got just 3 choices on this car, which I think is great. You've also got either rear-wheel drive, or you've got all-wheel drive, or twin as it's called. So when it comes to the Core, you're talking about starting price around 45k, the Plus 51k, and the Ultra 56k. This is the XC40. It's now called the EX40, but it's basically the same car. Maybe they're going to change it over time to look a bit like the EX30 perhaps. That kind of more rounded front to it, a little bit more modern design. I think that's probably coming. terms of the battery, it's an 82 kilowatt hour battery. As I said, they've improved that slightly from the original, and 78 kilowatt hour usable, that is. Maximum power 300 kilowatts, and we're talking about here the Ultra, and torque of 670 newton meters. 0 to 62 in 4.8 seconds. And I do like a fast car because I'm a bit of a sucker for speed, and you still get an incredibly fast drive in this car. I mean, it seems mad. It's a very, very fast brick, and maximum speed is 112 miles an hour. Not that you'd really be bothered about that. WLTP range, it says 332, and clearly you're never going to get that unless you're driving in town on a summer's day. Expect around 250. DC charging up to 205 kilowatts, 10 to 80% in around 28 minutes, and the average charge speed is around 125 kilowatts. That's just nice to know, because I've been used to the Jaguar I-Pace, which had a maximum charge speed of just over 100 kilowatts and an average of much less than that. So to know I'm going to get that kind of average of 125 on the right charger, of course, is a nice thing to have. When it comes to the AC charger, it's an 11 kilowatts AC charger. So if you're out and about and you're charging on an AC, perhaps in a hotel or a car park, then if it is 11 kilowatts, then you're going to get the full 11 kilowatts. If you're charging at home, of course, unless you've got three-phase electric, which not many properties do in the UK, you're only going to get 7 kilowatts. So you're talking about a full 0 to 100%, which you very rarely do, but let's say for the sake of it, 0 to 100% in around 13 hours. So you're looking at around 20 miles an hour. When it comes to the space in the boot, you've got 410 litres, about 3 times that if you put the seats down. And then the frunk, and there is a frunk, and I'm still amazed how many manufacturers don't have frunks. BMW, for example, I don't think they've got any frunks on their models, and they've got those big bonnets. It's bizarre. But it does have a frunk here. 31 litres, perfect for putting your cables in, really. Weight is 2.2 tons, and it can tow though up to 1.8 tons. So it's pretty good. Now, when I said about you get everything on this Ultra version, you do get a lot. You've got a Harman Kardon stereo system. It's got 13 speakers, 600 watts, and a subwoofer. You've got the 12-inch driver display. You've got a 9-inch infotainment system. I mean, that's the same on all of the cars. And you've got lane keeping aid, adaptive cruise control, pilot assist, rain sensing wipers, pixel headlights. You know, you've just got pretty much anything you could think of. When you get inside the car, it's just nothing but comfortable. And there's some lovely features in here. This kind of topographic look which lights up at night, looks really cool. The seats they're just fantastic. That's what Volvo are known for, and I've always said that Volvo have got the best seats. I've been on long journeys in the C30 we had once, which was quite a small car, small hatchback, and we went all the way to Spain in that, and really that was incredible in considering it's such a small car, how comfortable that was on that journey. And it's no different in here. I've been on a few long journeys already, and it feels just so comfortable. I love the infotainment system. So this is the Google based system, Android, but you still get Apple CarPlay, so you can use that as well. I kind of haven't quite got that balance right yet, because sometimes you use the Apple CarPlay, sometimes you use the actual system itself. But what is really good on this is the Google Assist. So you can just ask it anything and it responds really quickly, not like most car systems, which are quite frankly pretty random and not very effective. But on this, very, very quick. So if I said, Hey Google, navigate to home.
Navigating to home.
Straight away. It's really great when you are doing things like navigation, or you can just do things like ask to listen to your favorite podcast or your favorite songs. Very, very responsive, and it's a real big benefit of this system. Display in front of you is really nice and crisp, has all the information you need. This screen itself could be bigger. When you look at some of today's screens, they're sort of huge. Even the latest EX30, the screen's a bit bigger than this, and I'm sure the next iteration of the EX40 will probably be very similar in design, I expect, to the EX30, just a bigger version of it. In the Ultra model, you get the Harman Kardon stereo, which is really good. 13 speakers, I think it is, and it's got a subwoofer, so you get great sound. In the Ultra version, you get these memory seats as well, which for me is just so nice to have, because I didn't have this on my last car. I really miss having memory seats, and it does that thing that, you know, if you open the door with your key, then it sets the seats to your settings, so you don't even have to change it on the memory. It does it all automatically. That's a really nice touch, and I know that's now available on quite a few cars, but when you haven't had it for a while, believe me, it feels like a real luxury when you get it back. The glove box itself isn't particularly big. It's kind of enough to get some gloves in. That's about it. And you've got this storage under here as well, which has its own little kind of bin that you can remove, which is kind of quirky. Yeah, we like that sort of thing. But yeah, plenty of storage there, and 2 cup holders, and you've got charging pad as well in front of you, which I hardly use actually, because of Apple CarPlay not being Bluetooth based. You have to plug it in to get Apple CarPlay. One of my phone is charging, of course, at the time, so I don't really use that much, although I like having it there as an option. It's good to just have it anyway, and anybody else can use it, of course. And in this Ultra version, you get the panoramic sunroof, and really cool the way this works. So you just have to swipe it, and it just goes back, which is really nice. Swipe it again, and it shuts. And you've also got a shade you can pull across as well after that. If you just want to open it a little bit, you just press the top there, and it just opens it just slightly at the back there. You can close that again. So it works really nicely. Another thing on seats, you've got an extendable option, which is really handy. Just provides more comfort, particularly on long journeys. It's such a great car to drive. It's so comfortable and so easy. You've got one pedal driving on this car, which was quite a key criteria for me when I was looking. I love having one pedal driving. You don't have to use your brakes. You just slow down using the regen from the car, the instant response that you know you're going to get from an electric vehicle. This is a fast car. Can't believe it, really. It's just mad. Considering I test drove the original XC40 before the fully electric one came out, and I think the 0 to 60 time was 9.6 seconds or something, and this is now 4.8 seconds as the electric version. So it's pretty incredible, really, isn't it? It's so comfortable over bumps. That was just a speed bump there. Hardly notice it. The only thing I have noticed is it's a little bit noisy on the front suspension. I don't know why that is. It just sounds a little bit rattly. I have seen on other forums people saying the same. Anyway, overall, great car to drive. I know I said I loved the I-Pace, and it was great having it for all sorts of reasons, but I already like this more. It's just because it just feels a lot more practical and comfortable. maybe it's just my age, maybe just is what I need now, is comfort and familiarity, because I've had lots of Volvos in the past. Everything works for Volvos for me, as for the driver. They think about the driver, just the way your arms kind of sit in the car. It's just, they get it right every time, and certainly recommend it if you're looking for a nice comfortable car. So that's it. That's my first impressions on the XC40 Recharge Twin Ultra, and lots of videos to come as I get used to the car. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.